Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at the Meprolight RDS Pro. Let's get right into the first 30-second breakdown. That's where in the first 30 seconds, give or take, I give you guys my exact thoughts on this product before we get into the full review. That way you guys can just stop watching because now you know exactly what I think about this, or you can keep watching to find out exactly why I say those things in more detail, and it does help out with the YouTube algorithm. So with the RDS Pro, this thing has a very large field of view, which is nice, but with the downside of that is the optic is very large. This runs off of AA batteries, which is something I really like because they're super easily accessible. You put your batteries up here up front, and it does have a warning for when the battery gets low. Now the downside of that is it only has 3,000 hours of battery life, so it is low battery, but to save a little bit of that battery, it does have an auto off feature, so if you do accidentally leave this on. The dialing system has 16 brightness settings and some night vision as well for those of you that want to use night vision. It's really nice how this dials actually. You have 4 different dials, so you dial in exactly which one you want brightness wise, and then you just press in this button and it fine tunes it a little bit closer to make it exactly where you want it. So I do like that rotation system and how to dial in the exact brightness you want. This does have a circle dot optic, really similar to Hollow Sun or like an EOTech kind of optic, which I like those type optics. I think they're really relaxing for my eye. So I think it was a good reticle choice to go with. They can go green or red. Durability wise is one of the things that I have questions about. I have personally never had any issues with this, but with this top housing being polymer where the glass is, that is where I can see you having any issues. So if you have any drops right here, I can see that being a problem. Back here is their magnifier that I have been testing along with it. This is not a review for the magnifier. They have a button one here, or you can also just go with a tension one. I highly recommend the tension. I do not like the button one, but the magnifier itself does pair really well with this, and I think the magnifier is good. So now let's get into my relationship with Meprolight. They did send me this optic. I did not spend my own money on it. So now with all that being said, let's get right into the full review and go over all the pros and cons and go into a little bit more detail why I say those things. So to start out with, let's go with the field of view. This has a massive field of view on it. Very large. I like that. Very easy to look through. You can see a lot of things around it. You're not really looking through a tiny tunnel like some optics, which some people really like that, some people don't. So if you really like having larger field of view, this is going to be an optic that you're really going to be interested in. Now the downside of that is the fact that it is fairly large. You have a really large body. It takes up a lot of space. It's heavy. It looks big. So you really don't have the option to put it on smaller guns and really match them like a sub gun. You can if you want to, obviously, but it's not going to look as good as some of the smaller optics. So it is a very large bodied optic. Now with the battery system, it runs off of AA's, which is I'm a really big fan of. I've got a couple optics that do that, and I really like that. They're just super accessible, easy to use. I've had no issues with the battery. Actually, I haven't had to change them yet. So I have not had any problems with the 3,000 hours of battery life. It is low for those of you that want something that's like end of the world, going to last you forever, but very easy to change the batteries out. And like I said, AA's are just super accessible. So 3,000 hours of battery life is low. So that's going to be a decision for you to make if that's going to be a little bit too low for you, but it does have an auto off feature to help save that battery. So if you let this sit for a while, the optic is going to turn off and allow you to save that battery life. The reticle will also warn you. It'll flash a couple times when the battery is getting low, so it gives you a warning, hey, if you're out the range or doing whatever you're doing with this gun, or if it is something you have on a patrol rifle, when you see that flash, you know to change your battery and to be able to maybe get into a rotation. If it's something that you're using more in a home defense setting, you can either get rotation or make sure you're just checking it, and if it flashes on you, you know that you need to change that battery. This has 16 brightness settings along with night vision settings, so for those of you that want to use night vision, this will be compatible. I really like the dialing system of this. I was a little confused with it at first. I didn't know if I was going to like it, but you're able to change just by rotating here, and it does a larger increment in brightness. So it'll be low, medium, high, and bright. So you have like 4 increments, and then you just press this button in and it rotates through that to make it in smaller increments, which is cool because you can find the brightness you want and then just press that button and really fine tune it where you want. I really like that and had good luck with that. The mounting system is quick detach, so you have 2 quick detach points here that you can just take off and you can pull the system on, put it right back on. You have Tighten system on this side, so you can rotate that depending on if your rail's a little bit smaller, because all rails are a little bit different. So depending on what you're putting on, you can change that and be able to make it tighten a little bit more, a little less. But I've had good luck with the mounting system. I have had this on the Galil, which is a fairly heavy hitter. I mean, it's not a really weak gun, so it shakes things around a bit, but I've never had any issues with the zero, so I've never had to do any fine tuning. It has held zero really good for me, and I have put a lot of rounds through this Galil. If you guys want to see the full review on this Galil, go ahead and click here and you can watch that and see the full review on that, because this is a fantastic system, and this whole setup as a whole is really nice, and I'm really happy with it. But the only thing I'm not happy with is the button here on the magnifier. I need to get the tension one and switch it out because I don't like the fact that the button's there. I'd rather just be able to push and pull to move it instead of having to you know, add one extra step and moving that. It makes it a little bit slower, and I don't like that. But I think this combo is nice. So now moving along with the optic. For durability wise, me personally, I have not had any issues with durability. I've heard some things about durability being kind of a iffy thing on these. And for me personally, what I see and what I would worry about is this polymer housing here. I don't know why they went with that. I don't know, maybe if they just wanted to save some weight, but the polymer housing around the glass worries me slightly. Again, I have never had any kind of problems with durability or breaking or any problems with it. But if there were to be any problems or a drop, this is where I see that being a problem at. So maybe down the road, I will do some durability. I might drop this and see how it handles, because I am curious. But for those of you wondering, the body is aluminum and the housing here for the glass is polymer. So with all those pros and cons in mind, I have had really good luck with this optic. I have had a lot of fun with it. I think it works really well. I think it fits this gun really well. I think if I had a smaller gun, maybe like a 10.5 inch or a sub gun, I would never put this on it just because it is very large. But I think with the big size and structure of this gun and the design of it, I think it fits it really well. So the IDF does use this optic, and Israeli forces also, so it is used by military, which is always nice to see, knowing that a military would trust their lives with this optic, so that is cool. It is about around that $500 mark in pricing, so it's going to be really comparable to like your EOTechs, which is something that I really think this compares to because of the shape, the look, the reticle. This is not a holographic, this is a red dot, but it does kind of compare to that, so it's about that price range, but that's going to be up to you guys to see if that price is worth it for you. So I personally have not seen very many videos or reviews on this optic, especially of recent, so that is really why I wanted to do a lot of testing on this. I've had this for months since I started the testing on this, probably about 6 months now, honestly. So I've had this optic for a really long time, and I've been withholding doing the review for a while because I really wanted to get this one right and make sure that this was something I trusted, something that didn't have any issues or weird electronical issues. So far, I've had really good luck with it. I haven't had any problems with it. Again, I've stated my pros and cons and the things I think maybe to look out for. Maybe later down the road I'll do some durability tests to see if this is really something that can handle some drops, but so far I've had really good luck with it, and it has been a good optic for me, and I really like this pair and combo, especially on this setup. My goal with my reviews is to give you all the pros and cons and my experience I've had with it and be able to help you make a better purchase decision for you. So hopefully after watching this, you were able to make a better decision on whether this is something you would like to go with, or maybe you would like to pass and go with something else. With all that being said, I'd be happy to answer any questions that I can. So put those in the comments if you have any. I will be updating you guys further really on usually Instagram, Facebook is where I'll do like the small updates of how things are going. But if it's something significant like a break, I will do a full YouTube review, and you guys will see that here. So if you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments, and I appreciate it. If you guys want to help out me and the channel and everything I do here, there's a couple ways to do that down in the description. There are some discount codes from companies that I personally trust that you can use to save some money, along with a link to my website. From there, you can use other links like Brown Reynolds Air Precision, Premier Body Armor, and anything using those links does help out my channel a lot. So I appreciate it if you do those things. If not, I just appreciate you being here, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Those things do help out as well. I've been growing a lot this year, especially with SHOT Show. The SHOT Show coverage was great, and I appreciate you all, the new people that are here and sticking around. Let me know if there's anything in my reviews that I can do to make these better. I'm trying to give you guys as much honest information as possible of my experience with these so you guys can make a better purchase decision. And that's really my goal with these videos, is just to be able to help you make a better decision on if you want to buy something or not. A couple companies that have supported me and the things I do here are Howitzer and TA Targets. Both are fantastic companies. Howitzer donates 5% of proceeds to charity, and they're a great clothing company. TA Targets is a steel target brand, and you can use code Tactical Advisor to save 10% off there as well. So big thank you to both of those companies, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.